Hello and welcome to Byju's IAS. Let's get started and look into the first article. The first article says Himachal getting less snow, says the study. There was a joint study conducted by State Center on Climate Change and the Space Application Center, Ahmedabad. According to this study, they say in the last one decade or so, there has been less snow in the region of Himachal Pradesh. Added to this, the area has also decreased considerably when you consider the snow cover in the region of Himachal Pradesh. To give you an example, when you juxtapose and compare the year 2020 and 21 with 2019 and 20, what we have seen is an overall decrease of 18.5%. So this article currently goes on to say that for the past few decades, the amount of snow in the region of Himachal Pradesh has decreased and the area of snow in the Himachal Pradesh has decreased. Why is there a drop in the snow cover in the Himachal Pradesh? That is because of the anthropogenic induced factors. This includes rapid deforestation, construction projects and mining projects that have been taking place in the state of Himachal Pradesh. All these factors have led to changes in the climate change, increasing the temperature, and increase of temperature ultimately means that there is this snow cover which is depreciating over a period of time. If we look into the causative factors, the first important factor that we have to consider is rapid deforestation. What is happening in Himachal Pradesh? The areas that were once concentrated and named as forest land have been used for non-forest activities. So remember, there are some areas in the region of Himachal Pradesh which are called as forest lands. These forest lands have now been diverted to non-forest activities. It can be agriculture, it can be construction work, it can be developmental projects, it can be hydropower as well. So the area which was concentrated as the forest cover is now diverted to non-forest activities, leading to depreciation of the land, which means increase of the temperature, which means what this forest were able to do or capture the carbon, but unfortunately because of the depreciation of the forest, deforestation that is taking place, what we see is that this particular area has lost a lot of forest, and as a result there is fragmentation of forest, loss of biodiversity, leading to this particular state in the state of Himachal Pradesh. The hill state is currently pursuing a lot of construction projects. This can be in the form of highways, this can be in the form of hydropower projects, which are important for the state's development. However, this has to be sustainable. If it is not sustainable, what we will see is devastations like the snow cover drop. One such example is if we have to consider the national highways. If we go back to the year 2014, the national highways in the state of Himachal Pradesh was about 2196 kilometer. Now if you compare this in the year 2018, what we have seen is an increase in number to as much as 2642 kilometer, and if we consider the state roads, it is as much as 4312 kilometer. What are we seeing? Apart from the construction that we see on the national highways and the stateways, what we are also seeing is broadening of these existing infrastructural projects. Ultimately, we are playing with the nature. We are ensuring that all these rocks that are present in the hill regions, they are chopped off, they completely eliminated, leading to low stability in this region. Added to all of this, there have been multiple reports in the past which have said that this is a region which is not that stable. Mining activity will not have to be conducted. But in spite of repeated warnings, there has been mining of limestone in this region, leading to the present state. So the causative factors include rapid deforestation, construction projects, mining activity where limestone mining has been taking place in this region. All this means that when it comes to the deforestation, it takes years, thousands of years for the trees to grow, but then we chop them off and we grow these plants expecting in the form of afforestation to protect us. But that will not work since these trees are completely uprooted. They will not have the stability, they will not be able to retain the soil, and at the same time, this can also lead to landslides as well. Since the forest cover is lost, since they are no more acting as a carbon sinks, what would happen? Temperature would increase in that region. Since the temperature is increasing, the snow cover over a period of time will considerably drop as well. So about one third of the geographical area remains under the thick snow cover in the Himachal Pradesh. However, because of the anthropogenic factors that we have induced, there has been a drop in the snow cover, and this might result in problems to the region. When you look at multiple rivers in this region, we have number of rivers like Chenab, Beej, Parvati, Satluj, so on and so forth. All these rivers derive their water from the snow melt that takes place in this region. However, with less snow cover, what would happen? These rivers will not get required amount of water, and as a result, who will be the sufferers? There are people who make their livelihood means and mechanisms from these rivers: fishing, agricultural activities, so on and so forth. Since the snow cover is not meeting the criteria as it was previously present, there is not enough water in all these rivers, and it is the people who are bound to suffer as well. Added to this, we have also seen that whenever there is a drop in the snow cover, there is formation of the artificial lakes. What would happen? It would create a depression in that region, and this would obviously create what is called as the artificial lakes. When the lakes are no more able to sustain, and if there is a landslide, what it can also result is floods in this region, leading to disaster in that region as well. As a result, what we will have is devastating consequences in the Himachal Pradesh region. If we have to look at the consequences, reduced levels of precipitation as snow will ensure that there is loss of some perennial sources of irrigation and potable water. High winter rainfall will also increase erosion. So what is strategy that we have to adopt? Soil and water conservation, adjustments in the cropping schedule. Then there is loss of glacier volumes that may take place, which is likely to happen. This can also result in loss of semi-perennial sources of potable water, long-term reduced hydroelectric power, irrigation and water supply. So what we have to do is improvement in the irrigation and water supply efficiency, optimization of the hydropower dams, storage at selected hydro sites, and change of water resources for the potable water. Then if there is earlier snow melt, this can also have impact as well. This can lead to loss of some perennial sources of water and irrigation, and if there is increased temperature in that region, which is more likely to occur in the near future as well, this will change the aquatic ecologies, balance of phytoplankton and zooplankton, balances in rivers and water bodies, increasing the bacteria. So what we will need is application of land suitability analysis under new climatic conditions, estimation of temperature changes and impact in rivers and lakes. Only if we are able to understand all of this, that is when we would be able to bring changes in the Himachal Pradesh region. It is this that we have to understand in reference to this article. Now let's look into the next article. This article says why natural gas prices are soaring around the world. The article goes on to say that the price of natural gas in Europe is now 6 times higher than what was present last year. Why is that the natural gas prices are increasing? The first important point is because of the supply constraints. What are these supply constraints? We have to take into picture two important viewpoints. One is the demand for the natural gas. The other is the supply of the natural gas. During the COVID-19, what did we witness? There was not much demand for the natural gas. Why? That is because people were at home, there were not much of industrial activities, and there were also lockdown imposed in multiple countries. Because of the lockdowns imposed by the governments, economic activity was not happening. So what was happening? There was no demand during the COVID-19 period. Since there was no demand during the COVID-19 period, what did these producers do? They pulled down the production, and as a result, there was not much production happening during the COVID-19. But now what we have is demand for the natural gas. However, in spite of the demand, there is no supply by these producers. Now what is happening? There is demand for the natural gas, but they are not able to meet up with the supply. There is demand for more natural gas, but since there is more demand, which is why the prices have been skyrocketing as well. If they are able to manage produce the same amount of natural gas as per the demand that is in market, then the prices would not have increased. But since there is excessive demand, less supply in the market, which is why the prices of these natural gases have increased over a period of time. Added to this, if we have to consider what is happening in Europe, many countries also want to go green as well. What do we mean by going green? They do not want to make use of coal. They do not also want to make use of those which are polluting industries. So they are moving away from coal to the gas. Since they are moving from coal to the gas, again, what is happening? There is excessive demand as well, because they are not able to meet this demand with the required amount of supply, which is why the prices of these natural gases have skyrocketed. Added to this, natural gas production has shrunk over the years as well. If we have to take into picture Europe excluding Russia, for the year 2005, they produced as much as 300 billion cubic meters. And in the year 2021, it has dropped to as much as 200 billion cubic meters, which means the production by number of countries in Europe has also dropped over a period of time. This is why the prices of natural gas has been going down over a period of time. Apart from all these reasons, there is energy geopolitics that is also in place. That is because of Russia. When you look into Russia, Russia was the largest exporter of natural gas to the European Union back in the year 2019 and in the year 2020, and about 40% of the European Union countries' imports was from Russia. But now what is happening? Russia is coming up with a new project called as the Nord Stream 2 pipeline project. What is this Nord Stream 2 pipeline project has been explained on 20th of May 2021 in an elaborate way. Let me explain this in brief. Before this particular project came into implementation, you had Russia, which was exporting the natural gas, where it had pipelines going through Ukraine. So what was happening? Since it was going through Ukraine, Russia had to pay a lot of charges to Ukraine. Now there is a new project where this project is built along the Baltic Sea. Since it is along the Baltic Sea, Russia need not have to pay any of the charges to Ukraine. So Russia is not actually exporting the natural gas, it is withholding the production of natural gas, basically to make sure that European Union accepts this particular project. Russia in the present situation is not producing enough of natural gas, or it can also be a geopolitical module where Russia is insisting the European Union to accept this Nord Stream 2 pipeline project. What is the implication of rise of the natural gas prices? Natural gas are required for the production of the fertilizers. Since the cost have increased over a period of time, there is not much of fertilizer production that is taking place. As a result, farmers are not getting enough fertilizers as well, and what this may lead to is also drop in the agricultural productivity, leading to further inflation in the market. This will be the negative ramification because of the rise of the natural gas. How will it impact India? The jump in the natural gas price at Europe will also have similar rise in India as well, and if India has to import the natural gas, its import bill will also raise for India. These are some of the negative impacts for the world as well as for India. It is this that we have to understand in reference to this article. Now let's look into the next article. This article says why three countries have paused Moderna vaccine. The article here is speaking about Sweden. It is speaking about Denmark and Finland, where they have temporarily suspended administering these Moderna vaccines to people who are less than 30 years of age. Why? That is because, according to them, there are people who are suffering from myocarditis and pericarditis, and as a result, they have suspended administration of this Moderna's M vaccine for the younger age groups. Let us try and understand what is this myocarditis and pericarditis. Myocarditis is the inflammation of the heart muscle, which is nothing but myocardium. Because there is inflammation of the heart muscle, the heart would not be able to pump the blood that is required. This may result in chest pain, fatigue, shortness of breath. In fact, there can also be clots in the heart as well, leading to stroke as well as heart attack. Now let's understand what is this pericarditis. This is how the normal pericardium is. But with a person suffering from pericarditis, what you actually see is the inflammation of this particular muscle. So the outer lining of the heart, as shown in the picture, we will see an inflammation in this part, and as a result, again a person may go through chest pain and can also result in heart attack as well. So this article goes on to say that countries like Sweden and Denmark, along with Finland, have suspended administering Moderna's mRNA vaccine as there is every likelihood of people suffering from myocarditis as well as pericarditis. Who were affected the most? It happens to be the male. Why is that they were affected more? Why is that the risk is more when it comes to the male? The scientific community is yet to decipher what is the causative factor. It is this that we have to understand in reference to this article. Now let's look into the next article. This article says torchbearers of freedom of expression. This article here is speaking about Nobel Peace Prize. This is very important as you can use it in the essay as well as in the mains answer writing. What are we speaking about? We have journalists from Philippines and Russia who were now given the Nobel Peace Prize. Why? That is because they were able to stand up against the authoritarian regime and reimpose the faith in the very right to freedom of expression as well as right to freedom of press. The article here focuses on two important journalists. One journalist is from the country of Philippines, the other is from the country of Russia. What was happening in Philippines? We had the president of Philippines who had come up with an anti-drug campaign. This anti-drug campaign wanted to ensure that all the drug peddlers are put behind bars, and he had also given permission to even go to an extent of killing such peddlers as well. So this investigative journalism taking place in Philippines tried to rediscover that there was extrajudicial killings as well, and added to this some of the poor people were killed in this anti-drug campaign. Not only this, there were fake news, people were pushing in an agenda, there was a lot of corruption in the system, there were financial holdings that were held by the political system, and lot of individuals became rich overnight. All of this was being investigated by the journalist in Philippines. And if we have to consider what was happening in Russia, Russia, as we all know, has Vladimir Putin. There is not much of political opposition, so there was a large scale killings that was happening in Chechnya, and there were number of journalists who were killed as well. Identifying what was happening in Chechnya and also finding out why journalists were being killed was one of the ideas that was being exposed in Russia. Because of these two ideas, Nobel Peace Prize have been given to these two journalists because they stood for the very idea of freedom of expression, and they also wanted to ensure that the freedom of press is not taken away, as people should be aware about the proceedings in the country. If we have to speak about Russia, Russia holds a ranking of 150 among the 180 countries when it comes to the World Press Freedom Index. As part of the assignment, you have to put on the comment section who publishes this World Press Freedom Index and what is the ranking of India. In conclusion, we can say that the Nobel Committee selected these two journalists primarily because they wanted to underscore the importance of protecting and defending important fundamental rights. This can be used as fodder in your essay as well as in your mains answer writing. Now let's look into the next article. This article here is speaking about boom sprayer. What is it used for? It is used for spraying of the decomposers. What are these decomposers? We have explained in the past in a quiz as well as in a daily CNAs as well. So basically this will be used so that the farmer does not enter into the mode of stubble burning. So what you will have is a tractor like equipment, and then you will also have the wings as shown in this picture, and this will also have the decomposer liquid. The decomposer liquid will be sprayed on the agricultural field such that stubble burning need not have to take place in this particular region. So the decomposer is sprayed by one of the equipments called as the boom sprayer. The only thing that you have to remember is about the boom sprayer, which is used for spraying the decomposer liquid. The rest of the analysis of the decomposer, how is it used, what is the significance, has been explained in our previous CNAs. Now let's look into the next article. This article says the chronicler of the post-colonial life. This can be looked at from two important perspectives. One, from the GS paper 1 perspective, and also from the GS2 paper perspective. How is that we can link it to the GS paper 1 perspective? We have the world history, which is part of the GS paper 1. When it comes to the world history, we have the European powers who went up to Africa. So what do they do? You have different countries like France, you also had Great Britain, you also had countries like Germany who had their zones of understanding and zones of power in Africa. They captured large swathes of land and they took all the important resources from Africa. So what do we see? We see colonization of the European powers in Africa. They were able to take all the important resources, and as a result today Africa does not have much of the resources. What is that we have to understand here? This part is integrated to the world history, so you have to read about all the wars that were fought in Africa. How is that the resources were taken from Africa to the European continent? This is one part. The other part is in reference to the international relations. Because of the colonialism, there is no clear cut boundary. So what do the boundaries mean? The boundaries mean that there will be stability in the region. But because there is confusion, there is dilemma, political boundaries are yet not clear, this is resulting in civil war in African countries. And at the same time, countries are also fighting amongst each other on the religious basis as well. So what are people doing? People are moving away from African countries to the European countries. Many of the European countries are not accepting these refugees. Why are they moving out? That is because the colonial masters happened to capture this region. They took away all their resources. They came up with one particular map where there are discrepancies in the map. They are not able to settle the political issue. There is civil war in Africa. So people want to save their lives. So they're moving from Africa to the European countries because they want to save their lives as they move along the Mediterranean Sea in their boats. Number of people have lost their lives, and this is what the author points out. The author in this case has been given Nobel Prize for Literature because he was able to showcase the issues in Africa by giving multiple examples as well as stories. So this article is important from the world history perspective, where you have to understand why the European powers colonized the African countries, and at the same time from the IR perspective you have to understand that there is only Germany and Sweden which are accepting the refugees. Many other countries are not accepting because they sense that there'll be a demographic change in Europe. This is what is important from this article. Now let's look into the mains practice questions. Overall decrease in the area under snow in Himachal Pradesh will have devastating consequences on the region. Discuss. Next question. Why are natural gas prices soaring? How will it affect the world and India? Examine. So please write all your answers on the comment section. Peer review. Do give positive feedback to your fellow answers. So this is it for today. Thank you for watching. All the best.